I believe the Denver Broncos got away with highway robbery in the likes of J.K. Dobbins and RJ Harvey. And I have got some interesting new statistics to share with you that will back up my claim. Welcome in, Broncos Country, to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. And before we get started, let's support the Broncos' new RB1, Mr. J.K. Dobbins. So here's what I'm proposing. 27 likes per hour, that's his number, for 12 hours. That would roughly equal 324 likes. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and support him for free because it helps grow the channel. Now, getting into the article that was written by Sports Illustrated that kind of helps support my claim that the Broncos got away with highway robbery. Most Broncos fans are aware, of course, that Dobbins was a Baltimore Ravens second-round pick out of Ohio State back in 2020, meaning he's heading into now his 6th season. Well, he's struggled to stay healthy as a pro, but when it comes to projecting just how impactful he could be in Denver, health willing, of course, there are a few stats on his resume that jump out, and many fans might not be aware of them. Those stats are as followed. 2,252 yards rushing for his career on just 429 carries, which equals 5.2 yards per carry, which is unbelievable. In fact, it is so unbelievable that I feel like there's some other stats that people would completely overlook if they didn't even know those ones. So the stats that I'm about to share with you are very, very impressive for a player who hasn't really been on the field nearly as much as he would have liked to have been throughout the entirety of his NFL career. So let's talk about him a little bit. 5.2 yards per carry for the career. That's very nice to know. But did you know that that is second highest among active running backs in the NFL? Now, here's where it gets interesting. The big play percentage is what I want to talk about. Third among active NFL running backs. Well, what's big play percentage? Super easy. All it means is runs above 10 yards. So 10 plus yard carries he's third among active NFL running backs. And by the way, last year had 489 yards after contact. So what does that tell you? Well, this photo kind of highlights exactly what I'm talking about. His field vision is excellent, especially in a single back formation, because it allows him to sit back, be patient, and identify a hole in either the A gap, B gap, or the C gap. And as you can clearly see, when the entire offensive line pushes left and shifts left, he's going to have the patience and the field vision to sit back, take that ball from Bo Nix, and identify that, hey, in the C gap right there, I can cut back to the right and make a burst through that hole for an extra couple of yards. So his ability to identify those small holes actually makes him incredibly deadly in that single back formation. I feel like that's where he's most beneficial because in the shotgun, you're looking for a little bit more burst. And while Dobbins does have okay burst, it's his patience and his ability to wait to let the play develop where his strengths lie. Now, obviously, all of this is predicated on him staying healthy throughout the entire season, so fingers crossed on that. But all of what I just named, plus his ability to not only handle the rock in the backfield, but also to make things happen with his hands in the passing game for just $5.25 million is a complete steal. So the big play percentage, his field vision, and his contract lead me to believe the Broncos might have just gotten the deal of the century on a player that, if he stays healthy for all 17 games, is going to be contending for a Pro Bowl based off of what we've seen previously. I feel like most people have discredited or discounted J.K. Dobbins as a Pro Bowl caliber player simply because he's just not on the field nearly as much because of his injuries. And they'd be right to think so. But if I'm looking at the way the Broncos running back room is currently slated, I don't mind keeping JK in that RB1 spot for the entirety of the year if he can stay healthy. Now, I've said ad nauseum on this channel that RJ Harvey will end up becoming an RB1, but the more and more that I think about it, the way that Sean Payton runs his offenses is not, a lead back and then everyone else, right? It's not like the Philadelphia Eagles method where it's Saquon Barkley and then everybody behind him. No, he's going to rotate in Dobbins and rotate in Harvey and rotate in guys like Audric Estime and Jaleel McLaughlin, if they're still on the team, obviously, in different packages. I feel like Audric Estime is going to be that, hey, it's 3rd down and 1. We need a bowling ball to just plow through the middle. Well, that's your guy. But in a shotgun formation where you want to do a little bit more in the passing game, well, maybe that's RJ Harvey. And J.K. Dobbins, primary back in the backfield. So you see it all kind of trickles down. And I feel like that's the reason the Broncos brought in J.K. Dobbins in the first place. They wanted to mix up different running packages, which last year with Javonte Williams, sorry to say, they didn't have. It wasn't a very creative running room. It was just kind of, here's the ball, try and get as many yards as you can. Now, coming up, why I believe RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins can be the best in the West, partner. The AFC West, that is. Now, before we get into that, my friends, you've done an unbelievable job of supporting the channel when it comes to buying stuff with Fanatics. So I found an even better deal for you because that's what I'm all about, giving you the best deal. And this Broncos jersey, completely cool, midnight black, got that nice stretchy fabric that you're looking for, and completely customizable. So do me a favor. Use the link that I've put in the comments and description if you think this is really cool and start shopping today. But it doesn't have to be any of these particular items. If you want to go shop for other Broncos items as well, you can do that as well with the link that I've put in the comments and description of today's video. chatsports.com/Broncos jersey. Again, it helps out the channel and you look pretty sweet doing it. Let's talk about the duo, the dynamic duo, which, by the way, I have so correctly and coolly, in my opinion, named JK37. But, I mean, hey, that's neither here nor there. You can call them whatever you want, but I think that's a pretty cool nickname for the duo. But let's talk about their big playmaking ability, because I just talked about J.K. Dobbins. But if you're thinking for a second that R.J. Harvey doesn't possess that exact same type of playmaking ability, you're fooling yourself. In fact, last year, outside of Ashton Genty, he was the best. He was the 3rd fastest 40-yard dash at the Combine this year, ran a 4.4, so he's lightning quick. He had 32 carries of 15-plus yards in 2024, and he only ranked 20th in plays from scrimmage, meaning that for all of the big plays that he made, he wasn't even remotely close to on the field nearly as much as guys like Ashton Genty were, who, by the way, ranked number 1 in plays from scrimmage with 397. RJ Harvey only had 252. Now, there is another statistic that I believe proves why RJ Harvey can be just as good, if not better, than Ashton Genty, and that's his 54 rushes of 10-plus yards, which was second most in the FBS. So, again, take away anybody not named Ashton Genty, or a guy named Ashton Genty, excuse me. RJ Harvey was at the very top of college football rushing last year. He also had a combined 25 total touchdowns. And there's people still sleeping on this guy. I just don't get it. Now, one of the formations that he primarily ran when he was at UCF was called a shotgun offset formation. Now, it's not quite a pistol, which is where the tailback lines up directly behind the quarterback, but sort of off to the right. And this allows the dual tight end set to become a threat. Then it becomes a bunch formation if you're using 2 tight ends, but I'm digressing. So essentially what you're looking at is you've got your 5 offensive linemen, one of your tight ends lined up in the backfield, and this offset formation allows for so much diversity in your game because the tailback can either follow the lead blockers out to the left, bounce out to the outside, he can cut back to the inside in the B gap, or, as you're seeing on your screen right here, he can go off to the right in the flat for any variety of check down passes. So it could be a screen pass. It can be, just an arrow route out to the outside. The possibilities for you in this particular formation are limitless because of his quickness and his ability to find open holes as well. So I feel like what you're going to see is when the Broncos want to go more traditional bruise back football, they're going to go with J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. When they want to go a little bit more modern game, they're going to go with RJ Harvey. And they're going to combine the two of those and have a little ebb and flow of the both of them throughout the course of the season. And that's the thing. That's the ticket to success, in my opinion, in this run game. It's being unpredictable. Having the ability to north to south bruise back like J.K. Dobbins can, but also east to west lightning quickness, modern-day passing game, and modern-day running back style like RJ Harvey. And I feel like because of those reasons, Dobbins and Harvey are the perfect complement for each other. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you have, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Follow me on social media. I just created 2 new social media pages for you with the exact same handle. So if you want to go over to X, it's Moose_NFL. And if you want to go to Instagram, it is Moose_NFL as well with the capital M. Until next time, my name is Moose. Be cool.